What up? What up? What up? It's your boy Joe Chapo back in the building. Another edition of If They Only Knew. As always, we got your boy May Light out of the Bronx. What's up, man?
Yo, what's good, everybody? All my topics, man. You know, we love y'all. Make sure y'all hit that subscribe, share, like, drop a comment, and make sure you hit that bell so you get these videos first thing smoking. That's a fact.
Oh man, we got another special guest today, man. Another special one. Please, sir, introduce yourself.
Yeah, man. My name is Cody. I'm from Oklahoma. I mean, that's about it, man. There ain't shit going on here, so
That's what's up, man. Well, I appreciate you coming on, man.
no problem.
We take it serious, you know, people trusting us with their stories, so we definitely appreciate you coming on. So,
Oh, not a problem.
as always, we start them all the same, man. Tell us a little bit about yourself, where you're from, how you came up, and obviously, you know, what led you to the pen.
Man, like I said, my name's Ty. I grew up South Oklahoma City. I grew up out in the country. Man, had a good family, had I don't know, pretty good raising. I was an athlete, you know, but I grew up in a little town, a lot of drugs, obviously. I grew up in a military family, so I mean, it is what it is.
Yeah. So you didn't think about going into the military?
Do what? I was.
Oh, you was? Oh, okay.
Yeah, I was in Air Force.
Okay.
But oh man, I had a lot of shit happen. I lost a son right before I graduated high school. He was almost 3. Yeah, so I kind of went off the rails a little bit, you know. It happens. I had a pretty good I got high one time for about 6 years. And then yeah. And then man, I cleaned up for like 12 years and I had a whole bunch of shit happen. And I lost my dad. I lost the love of my life. I lost my wife. And I went on another little 10-month run, man. Ended up getting locked up.
First off, respect for the Lord. Definitely. Damn, man. So what was your drug of choice?
It really didn't matter, man.
Yeah.
The first drug I ever did was cocaine.
That was the first one before weed?
Yeah. Well, no. I take that back. I did acid, then I did cocaine, and then I started smoking weed.
I came close to doing acid, man. But when they told me, one of my friends was like, they were looking at their mom and just seeing her face melt. I was like, something I really don't want to see and shit. That kind of stuff.
Man, I was kind of a club kid for a while, man. So I did a lot of acid, a lot of X, a lot of ketamine, a lot of fucking, I mean, you name it.
Yeah. I did
Smoked a lot of opium.
Everything else, everything else scared me. I'm just one of the paranoid people that I feel like I'm just gonna have a badass trip instead of just chilling and see the colors and shit. I might see other shit. So I was like, nah, I can't do it.
Yeah, you definitely got to be in the right state of mind.
Yes, I can't do it. So shit, so you said you know, that little 10-month binge led you to
so I was doing a lot of meth and a lot of morphine.
So what happened with that? What led you to the pen?
Man, kind of a fucked up deal. I was homeless by choice. I mean, when all that shit happened, man, I kind of went back to what I was used to and what I was good at. So I was out there hurting people and, you know, selling dope, selling big dope, and just doing all the wrong shit.
Yeah.
And the way I ended up in the pen, man, I'd moved into a house. It was an upstairs, downstairs duplex. And the guy who owned the place was a lawyer. And the deal was, if I remodeled the downstairs, I could stay there. And then he was going to move down and I was going to move up and remodel that. And then I was going to get to stay there. Well, there's some little fucking D-boys running around thinking, you know, they're drug dealers and shit. And all the neighbors kind of come around when he bought the house and I was going over there dropping off supplies and stuff. They were like, man, can you run these dudes off? And, you know, I did. They ended up coming back. I ended up getting in a fight with one. I broke his cell phone. So because I have a professional fight record, I ended up getting charged with assault with force likely to cause death, which is the same as attempted murder. It's the same as murder. It's a violent crime. Oklahoma's a 33% state. I got charged with an 85% crime. I did 5 years. I had a 5-year sentence. I did 4 years, 3 months on it, day for day.
That was your first charge, right? Your first time ever dealing with the law?
Mm-mm.
Did you have?
No, I'd had a bunch of little brushes, but I mean, you know, I had like.
They were just mad and they would just say, "Fuck it" on this charge, or was it a mandatory?
Yeah, they were done fucking with me. But yeah, I broke it. Like I said, I broke his cell phone when all this shit happened. I'll tell you the story in just a second, but I broke his cell phone, so they got me for kidnapping, conspiracy to commit kidnapping, assault with force likely to cause death. They also had me on a trafficking charge, which they dropped to possession with intent, and they dropped my possession with intent to possession. So, but yeah, man, I was in the backyard. The electric people were there, you know, trying to turn on the electric and stuff, and this kid showed up. He pulled a gun on me, and like I said, the electrical worker was there. I took the gun away from him, hit him with it. I overreacted. I ended up beating the shit out of him. I broke his nose. I broke his jaw. I broke his collarbone. I broke a couple ribs. I broke his wrist. When it was all over with, I apologized to the dude. I was like, "Man, I'm sorry you had to see all that." And he's like, "I'm surprised that's it." There was a chick there, and she's like, "Hey, look at this." And I walked over, saw the gun, and she was like, "Something ain't right." I looked down at it. It's a fucking CO2 pistol, man. I was like, the little motherfucker ain't even got the balls to pull a real gun on me. So I'm glad I pistol whipped him with it. But it should have been a mutual combat deal. The electrical dude give me his phone number and stuff. But when they come and got me, they brought the tank, and I mean, there was a bomb squad, TAC team, SWAT team. I mean, everybody you can imagine. There was a sniper on the roof across the road. They blocked off 3 blocks. He told them everything they needed to know to get everybody over there as fast as possible.
Damn. But it should have been self-defense. It's not your fault that it was a fake pistol. That was like reaction.
Well, when they come and got me, man, because I threw the pistol away in the trash can. When they come and got me, like I said, there was no questions, no nothing. I spent 10 months in Oklahoma County. And if you've ever heard anything about Oklahoma County, that's the worst county jail in the world. I mean, I watched in the 10 months I was there was 13 people die. And that 6 of them were in my pod.
Yeah. Was that your first? That was your first time in prison, right?
Yeah, that's my first run of prison. Yeah.
So what was that? I mean, like, what's the politics there?
Man, Oklahoma's a little different. I mean, you really don't have to click up with anybody, so I didn't. Yeah. I just kind of kept my head down. I mean, I was cool with everybody, so like nobody really fucked with me. And it turns out like a couple of the car holders, like the guys who ran the yard for the Bloods and the Hoovers, I was friends with them from the world. So really, I didn't have shit to worry about. Everybody was cool with me, man. I mean, like I said, I just kept my head down. I mean, I'm a hustler at heart anyways. Yeah. I mean, I made some money while I was in there. I was doing probably not the right thing, but I mean, I wasn't doing anything that was illegal in the world.
Yeah. I mean, that's a whole different world, man. You gotta exist, man. You have to do what you have to do with it.
So can I ask, so you think you got that time because you said that you are a licensed boxer? That's what you said, right?
Yeah.
So is that the reason why they gave you that amount of time? Was it because of that?
Yeah, they hold me to a higher standard for sure. So like I said, something that should have been a mutual combat deal and should have been brushed off, or it should have been like assault with injury, got blown up to assault with force likely to cause death, which even at my pre-trial, do what?
No, because to them, they saying you should know better. That's what they're saying.
Well, see, at my pre-trial, he even said that I hit him with little punches, which that's fine. And he was an amateur boxer with like 13 amateur fights. So really, he should have been at the same level and it should have been a wash. But except because I did have a professional fight record, it got way out of hand way quick. And they were trying to make an example of me. Like I said, they were just done fucking with me, really.
That's what it really is. They were grabbing for anything they could get. and they
Oh,
just
yeah.
use that shit. But shit, I mean, 5 years is a long time, but all of them charges, I mean, they could have really hit you in the head with some numbers. Like,
My first offer was 35
see,
at 85%. That's like 31 years for a first offense. I mean, for a first prisonable offense.
that's crazy.
Mm.
But see, man, I got
young and dumb. You probably would have jumped on that and took all that time. And
well, no, I laughed at them. They
Yeah.
offered me 35, 25, 25, 20, 10, and then 5 in, 5 out. I still got 5 years on paper.
Yeah.
But I mean, like I said, man, I really wasn't fucking up except for a little 10-month run.
Yeah.
I had like almost 13 years sober, and I'm pushing 5 years now.
That's what's
So,
up.
yeah, I got let's see, 4 years, 8 months, and 8 days.
That's what's up. Salute. That's what's up.
But I mean, you know, I got too much good shit going on now that there's no point in going back to, you know, that darkness, that chaos. Like, I spent a lot of time working on myself when I was in, and I mean, I had a chick that was sending me books and stuff, and I mean, I was doing good, but I mean, I was getting fiction books, but then also I was getting like some self-helpy type stuff, you know, like all of Robert Greene's books, you know, Art of Seduction, 33 Powers, or 33 Laws of War, 48 or 33 Strategies of War. Do what?
Yeah, the 48 Laws of Power.
48 Laws of Power, Art of Seduction, 33 Strategies of War. What was the other one? Mastery, and
The Art of War.
shit, there was one more.
The Art of War. That's a cool one. My son.
Yeah, I had the Art of War, man. I had Verbal Judo. I had the Book of 5 Rings. I mean, like I said, man, I did a lot of work on myself.
Yeah.
And when I got out, I was in a really good place, man. But like I said, I had this chick, and shit, she rode with me for a couple years. But once I got out, man, it's nothing on her. It was just the transition was so hard, and like, because I had a really good life before.
Yeah.
And I mean, I was working in the oil field and making just stupid money. And then when I got to prison, you know, I adapted and I had a really good life in there. Then get out, man. And it's like, everybody expects you to be what you were before you went in. And those opportunities, man, those were just gone. Like, that wasn't an option for me.
Yeah.
So
do you think I mean, was it because of, you know, you serving time, or do you think it was like we've spoke with people that, you know, have done X amount of time and came out with PTSD in some way, shape, or form?
Yeah.
Do you think that has something to do with it?
I mean, I've definitely got PTSD, but I think that the expectations of society once I got out, like all the people who really didn't understand what's going on, and people who haven't been through it or been associated with somebody who has, it's unrealistic. You know, they expect me to get out and just hit the ground running and shit. But I mean, I have to register like a fucking chomo because I'm violent. I have to register as a violent offender. Like, I have to tell all my neighbors, my county, like the county police, I have to fucking register with them. They come out and check and shit. I mean, it's nuts, man. But like, when I got out, you know, you got to go register within, I think it was like 48 hours. So I go to the county sheriff's office. I go in there, I fill out all my paperwork, and there's some other dudes sitting there waiting. And I'm waiting and waiting and waiting on this lady, and she keeps walking back and forth, and I can see her, and I'm like, you know, kind of waving my shit at her, like, hey, here we go. And finally another officer comes out, and he was like, man, can I help you? And I was like, yeah, here, I need to talk to, you know, this lady. And he's like, okay. I hand him my paperwork. He looks at it and he goes, oh shit, you're violent. Hold on, man, I'll be right back. So he runs in, gets her. She comes out smiling. She goes, oh, I didn't know you were violent. I go, what? She was like, I thought you were one of them. And these other 3 dudes are just sitting there like, you know, wide-eyed and frozen. Yeah. And I was like, no, I'm violent. And she was like, okay, well, just don't put your hands on him while you're in here. I was like, ah, damn. So even the police, even the police hate the fucking chomos. I was like, well, sweet. Okay. I mean, I'm not planning on it, but whatever.
It's good to know.
I mean, it kind of blew my mind, man, for that kind of, I mean, I have no respect for him anyways. I was lucky because the yard I was on, there was no sex offenders at all. But like the level of disrespect and hate that even the police have for him, I was just like, holy shit, that's pretty intense.
Okay, so can I ask you?
That's the
Can I
first.
ask you what was the craziest thing you seen while you was in there? You don't have to say no names. You don't have to say if it was in jail, but you can say what was the craziest thing you seen in there?
Man, shit. I saw a dude get run through with a knife. It went in his right shoulder blade and come out his left chest. I mean, it was a bone shaker. It was a bone crusher for sure. And I saw a dude get stomped to death by 3 guys.
Mm.
I don't know, man. There was a couple gangs that had a falling out. Just about everything that happened in Oklahoma DOC in the last 5 years, almost all of it happened on the yard I was at and on the unit I was on. Like I said, there was a couple gangs. I'm not going to say who it was, but they fell out and it turned into a statewide deal. But yeah, it was crazy, man. I mean, I was in an open dorm too.
Oh shit.
So wait, so is this you was in a federal pen or you was in a state pen?
I was in state.
Oh, state, okay. Yeah, because state is always wilder than the fed pen. That's a fact.
Oh, it was a Wild West, man, for sure.
And
But I mean, do what?
And the fact that it was dorm, like dorm
Open dorm.
style,
Yeah, it was crazy,
dorm.
man. Like the building I was in, there was 320 inmates, and is like set up in 4 quads. There's 80 in each one. They have little cubes, and there's 10 racks in each one. There's 5 sets of bunk beds in each one. So I mean, you had 319 other dudes you had to fucking worry about all the time. But like I said, man, I was cool with everybody. I mean, I'm not trying to pat myself on the back or anything, but I'm a pretty fucking good dude.
Yeah.
So I got along with everybody. I never really, gotten any bullshit. I mean, I had 2 little instances that I had to deal with, but I mean, that's just a disrespect thing. And, I'm 42 years old now, man. One of them I was 40, and it was just a kid kind of disrespecting me. And I had to show him, hey, man, I got old in this game for a reason.
Yeah.
But, I mean, there was a lot of shit that happened, and there was a lot of shit that people wouldn't believe. I saw, man, there was a dude in there. He's probably 6'8", probably 320. He'd been up on ice for about 4 days, then got wet and freaked the fuck out. And I mean, this was a big motherfucker anyways. He fought pretty much the entire neighborhood gang at one point. He got tired of them, so he laid down, and then all the police come in. He was laying on his rack, just pushing them off like little kids, going, give me a fucking minute. I'm tired. Just leave me alone. That shit was nuts. One of the officers finally grabbed his handcuffs, put it around his hand, and was hitting him with it. Finally knocked him out. But I mean, it split his shit from like one side of his head all the way down his eye, back around his ear and shit. I mean, he was leaking. Head injuries bleed like a motherfucker anyways. And I mean, there was just like a solid trail of blood for probably 40 yards to get him out of the building. They metaflighted him out of there. I mean, you couldn't write this shit as a movie. It was fucking amazing. That's the only way I can describe it. I mean, not that it was a cool thing, but I mean, it was just like so unbelievable. It was just like, oh my God, wow. But I mean,
It sounds
and
crazy.
see, I was at a minimum security yard, and it was crazier than most of the full, most of the max and shit like that. I didn't understand it because everybody there is going home. And I knew like 3 or 4 people that ended up pulling some shit, going up in security, and then catching fucking letters. And I mean, why would you do that? You're within 5 years of being at the house, and then you end up catching a fucking life sentence. But
that's just pure ignorance right there, man.
For sure.
Not if I see the front door. If I'm looking at the front door, hell no.
Yeah, they let you get out and walk around, man. So, I mean, it's not like we're locked down in cell. Oklahoma County, like I said, man, I was there for 10 months. And at one point, we went 12 days without getting out for a shower or anything. The kitchen went down, so they were cooking in the Sally Port where they bring all the cars in and out. And we had bologna sandwiches. Well, we had oatmeal for breakfast, bologna sandwiches for lunch, and then some kind of weird-ass patty every day for 8.5 months.
Oof.
Yeah, I'll kiss your ass before I'll eat another fucking bologna sandwich.
Yo,
I mean, it's just nuts, man.
Them shits is unlimited. Yeah, I think more. Yeah. Did you have bologna sandwiches every damn day, man?
Yeah, man.
Do what?
Nah, I'm saying no, but he's asking me. Yeah, they'll do that to you. They'll give you that shit every day, yo, if they wanted to, yo. Like, that's a fact. Hey, I wanted to ask you, are you able to talk about, did you say you had a pro boxing career? Was you pro at one point?
Man, I fought a little bit of everything. I fought some MMA, boxing, kickboxing. I got involved in combat sports when I was 7 years old, man. I started wrestling, and I ended up taking karate and worked up to my, I got up to my brown belt. Actually, I had a recommended black, but I'd never got my black belt. I've taken judo. I've taken Brazilian jiu-jitsu. Like I said, I was kickboxing. I was boxing. I had a good time. I had an opportunity to go wrestle in college, but like I said, I lost my son right before I graduated. I lost my son and his mother right before I graduated. And I was not in any shape to do nothing.
So do you think that's something you may want to get into? Maybe training?
Man, the reason I got booted from the military is because I've got a heart defect. I've got a pacemaker now. So, I mean, I couldn't get.
My little brother got one. Damn.
Do what?
No, I was saying my little brother got a pacemaker and it's hard too, man.
Yeah. So, I mean, I couldn't get cleared to do anything right now. I got a few guys that I'll spar around with and shit. And I mean, I still work out quite a bit, but I mean, I thought about get back into training. I mean, I know y'all want to end on a positive note, but let's see, May 28th, I had a grandson. And like I said, I was getting real prelapsey. Like I was wanting to get high and shit. So like I said, the chick I was with, we started talking and I ended up going to rehab. And I went for mental health reasons, not for any drugs or anything like that. But I mean, kind of just to reacclimate and get the tools and the coping skills to stay straight. And the building that we were in, I was in Florida. I'm not gonna say where, but the building I was in, there was an American Top Team affiliate there. And I was trying my hardest to get in there, but like it was all during our clinical hours and stuff. And then it was after curfew when they're open again. But I mean, I love it, man. That's my bliss. But
Maybe
I'm to the point now.
Maybe you could teach somebody just the techniques and the basics of it, and then they could pass it. Yeah. So there's some way you can fit in there somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
Well, see, man, I got 5 kids right now. I got 2 boys and 3 girls. I've tried to teach my boys. They don't want to have nothing to do with it. My girls love it.
See?
Yeah, they're nuts.
Girl. Daddy's girl.
For sure.
I got a little bit. I tried to teach her some boxing because I was taking it for a little quick second, but I was trying to get her into it. She was not into it at all. She did it for about 5 minutes.
Now, actually, my middle son, he loved it. Like we got that mirror thing. That's like a virtual trainer, and we been there. They got the boxing in there, so it teaches 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It teaches you the combos 1, 2, 6, 1, 2, 3, 6. You know what I mean? The 1, 1. Like, you know what I mean? Like, yo, he's in love with that, man. Like I like it too, man. Like boxing. It takes you to a different place. Like you gotta think. A lot of people just think you throwing gloves. It's little movements, little slips, little like.
No, I mean that's why they call it the sweet science.
Yes,
it's a thinking man's game, man. Yes. I mean, you look at like the old schoolers, who, like say Marciano, Ali, all those guys, man. They got beat so bad because the refs were on a different level. Like they didn't know what was going on. But those guys' brains are paint. Like Ali got beat into Parkinson's disease, but I mean, still, like I was blessed enough to actually meet him at one point, and I talked to him for probably about 10 minutes. And that dude, I mean, as much as he was shaking, and as long as it took him to talk, like he was still so sharp in his mind. The stuff he was saying was beyond amazing.
Yo, that gotta be an honor, man. Oh my goodness, man. Oh my goodness.
I mean, I was young at the time, and I really didn't appreciate the situation that I was afforded. But I mean, like I said, I've lived a pretty blessed life, man, really. And being involved in the combat sports and stuff like I was, like it teaches you so much discipline. And the thing that really that really fucked me is when I was getting high and stuff, man, all that shit went out the window. I still had the rage, but I didn't have the control. And the worst part was I was trained to do what I was doing, and I shouldn't have been doing it. But I mean, you live and you learn, man. But being in your 30s and still being a thug out there and going and doing collections and, you know, hurting pretty much good people who've done bad things is it's a real shitty feeling. But I mean, that's again, that's a me problem, not, you know, not anybody else. And that's shit I got to live with and shit I got to deal with. And I plan on making amends for it once I find, you know, all the right people. And some of them I know they don't want to hear it, but I mean, again, it's not for them, it's for me. And it's kind of a selfish deal, but like, I mean, I sleep good at night now, but I do have shit that weighs heavy on my soul. And talking about PTSD, like PTSD is not just from observing shit. You can get it from doing shit too. Like you talk to soldiers who've been in combat and I mean, like actually had to pull the trigger and had to do the bad thing. Or, you know, you talk about people who've been on the streets and had to do, you know, bad things. I mean, that shit weighs heavy on your soul for sure. And no matter if it's, you know, you hit a guy or you killed a guy or you hurt somebody's family or God forbid you hurt somebody's kid or something like that, you know, drunk drivers or whatever. It's, like I said, man, it's a heavy burden. But going to that rehab, man, I did a lot of counseling and I've got a trauma therapist now and stuff. But I mean, I'm trying to work through a lot of it. And the PTSD, man, that's like people don't understand. They call it a cop out. They say it's bullshit or whatever, but like it's for real. I mean, real. And people don't understand the true like levity of, you know, the true weight that you got to carry around with you.
You know, myself, I suffer from it too. I've been locked up, I did things that harm people, like, and PTSD could just mean it could be normal to you, but crazy to everybody else. So like if I see a dead body, I'm like, I seen one. Whereas everybody else around me, it's like, oh my God, you don't see that dead body? Yeah, I see it. I'm like, so what do you want me to do? Like, is it dead body here? Like, you know what I mean? Like, and yeah, it's like something that's normal for us. It is what it is.
Well, you got to hit that point, man, where, I mean, I hate to say it's normal, but it's just that shit that don't bother you. You know what I mean? Like you compartmentalize a lot of things. And, I mean, you know, you hear like girls talking about emotion, and I know this is going to be a weird analogy, but you hear girls talking about emotions and, you know, locking them in that little box and pushing them way, way down. Well, you do the same thing, but PTSD is post-traumatic stress. Traumatic stress could be anything, man. It could be getting cut off on the fucking highway, or it could be seeing a dead body or causing a dead body, or, you know what I mean? Like there's a lot of leeway to what affects people different ways. Yeah. But I mean, at the end of the day, man, it is what it is.
Yeah. I mean, it's whatever you feel it means to you. You don't have to explain it to anybody else. I mean, it's your personal thing. But I mean, just you being on the channel right now, you telling your story, you've already started the process of healing. I mean, every time you tell your story and it could possibly help somebody else, is a little bit more weight just lifted off your shoulders. So just know that you're doing a good thing right now and you've already started your process.
Oh, for sure, man. And like I said, you know, when you asked me to do it, hell yeah. I mean, what was the first thing I said? Absolutely.
Yeah.
You know, man, I've been on one other, and I'm pretty sure that's how you found it, but how you found me. But like, it's you can't judge. I can't judge what you've been through. You can't judge what I've been through, because like I said, different things are going to affect you different ways. I mean, I'm pretty desensitized to a lot of shit, and I hate it. I mean, it's not. I
get it.
I'm more uncomfortable with how comfortable I am.
Yeah.
You get that?
Yeah. Yeah, I know exactly what you mean. Like it's just, it's just cold. You just numb. It's just it's nothing to you now. Certain situations, like I'm the same way. Like I don't even have a word for it. Man, like it's just like
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I can't feel it the same way you're feeling it. It's just,
Right. I mean,
sometimes
and I don't,
yeah,
and I mean, really, nobody can expect you to.
yeah,
You know what I mean? Like, if you do expect me to react the same way as you do, that's, I mean, that again, that's a you problem, man. That's not a me problem.
yeah.
But like I said, I'm more uncomfortable with my comfort of dark shit. And it's, I mean, like I said, I'm working through it, man. And I've done a lot of counseling, and I mean, I'm not afraid to say it. But I mean, you know, a lot of people look at, give you that stigma of going to counseling, and you know, kind of that, you know, oh, you're a pussy or you can't handle shit or whatever. But I mean, just think about, like, if you're walking down a beach, okay, you got a belt on with a rope, and you got, I'm not even going to say a bucket. Say you're carrying a 55-gallon barrel behind you. The farther you walk, the more sand gets in it, and the more it weighs you down. And I'm getting to the point, man, where all the talking I've done and all the people that I've had to interact with, and like all the shit that I've had to work out on myself, I'm finally getting to empty that barrel. You know what I mean? Like, that weight is getting lifted off of me. And I can't tell you how much better I feel not having to worry about carrying those burdens around. And the last thing I want to do, man, is pass those on to anybody, like my kids, my family, anything like that. And it's really a weird deal, man. Like the shit that we're talking about right now, and also the other deal that I did, man. Like, I've never sat down and talked to my kids or my family. I've maybe got a couple friends that I've talked to about it, but I mean, the way they find out about shit that I've been through is through stuff like this. And I mean, I appreciate the opportunities, but it's not something like, it's like a war vet, man. They're not going to talk to anybody except for somebody who's been through it. And they all have different takes and have been impacted different by the things that they've had to go through.
Right. Right.
And I mean, like, you know, just like the name of this, if they only knew, I mean, the only way they're going to know is to watch, you know, and to listen. But I mean, it's I mean, I know I'm kind of rambling right now, but
No, not at all.
I mean, it's again, it's a heavy burden to bear, man.
Yeah, I can imagine.
You know,
We hold on, like I want to say that, like, we've had people actually thank us for even wanting to know this story at all.
Oh yeah, man.
Yeah, like, what? Nobody's even ever asked about my story, so I want to thank you just for asking them. I was like,
Yeah,
and that kind of threw me back for a minute. You was to say something?
yeah, that's a fact. Nah, it's just like, right. So like when we be on live, there might be people that just might not understand everybody's struggle. Like, people be like, well, how can somebody can continue to do the same thing? And for instance, in your story, you said you had a good life, but then there was pockets in your life that was dark moments that took you to a dark place. And that's why you went on the little, 10-month
yeah,
run. So it can happen even to the people that has everything, whereas they had the background, they had the parents,
yeah.
they had people around them that was positive, they had that. But that it could take 1 to 2 incidents out of nowhere, and they could damage you. You know what I mean? And I just want, this is the perfect. It seems like God works in mysterious ways, because I've been talking about this on my live with other subscribers, and they feel like, how this, because they could have been on the positive side of things and never was able to face, you know what I mean? So this is the perfect story for that. You know what I'm saying?
And the worst part about it is, man, this is all self-inflicted. Like, I had every opportunity to do right, and I mean, you'll hear people say, oh, maybe you're wired wrong, maybe it's a chemical imbalance, maybe it's this or that. But no, I mean, in the end, it's all fucking choices I made.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, I struggle every day, but I tell you what I don't do is quit. I will not quit. Quit ain't in me. Back up ain't in me. I ain't got that. But I mean, yeah, this is all self-inflicted. And like I said, I recognize that. I realize that. And again, it's a me problem. That's shit I got to work out. That's nothing that I can't stand a motherfucker who plays the victim.
Yeah.
I hate that. Like, I've always faded my own heat. Like, you talk to drug addicts and stuff, and they always want to point the finger. But I mean, you can ask anybody who knows me. I've always owned my own shit.
Yeah.
And that it blows people's minds. Like, I am toddler honest.
Yeah.
I will tell you whatever, whenever. I mean, even at the detriment of myself.
Yeah.
But again, that's how I could go in there and lay down and go to sleep tonight and feel good about myself.
Yeah. 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 I mean, there's not a lot of people that can say the same.
And it goes back to that point of being self-inflicted, and it's the choices that I made, and I know it. I refuse to play the victim. That's weak. It's just like being in prison, man. The only place they can break you is right here. And I refuse. You will not break me. I promise you will not. But I mean, I saw a lot of people snap. I saw a lot of people, catch out, go, tell them that I can't stay here, I'm scared or whatever. But I mean, obviously you got some kind of skeleton in your closet that you're worried about first. And I mean, like I said, I air my shit out, and I'm honest. I'm beyond honest.
Yeah.
Like, don't ever ask me if those jeans make you look fat, because I'm going to tell you no, it's your ass that makes you look fat. It ain't them jeans. You know what I mean?
But have you thought about maybe putting this all down on paper, your story, maybe writing a book?
Man, I've had some people talk to me about it, and it's definitely an option at this point. I mean, like I said, I've lived a pretty blessed life, man. And other than a few bad decisions that I made, I mean, I've got it pretty good. I mean, right now I'm struggling. And like I said, that's the reason I went to rehab. I went for mental health reasons. I went to go get coping tools and, trying to figure out myself, not, trying to figure out my demons, not where to place the blame.
Yeah. I mean, listen, you understood you needed help, and you handled it the right way. I mean, I give respect to the fact that you realized it before and not after. I
mean, there's a lot of people who don't, but I mean, again, like I was saying, I'm not better than anybody else.
Yeah.
I just
recognize it.
And I mean, this is going to sound a little arrogant, but I think I'm a little bit more educated towards what my options were.
Yeah.
And instead of going off the rails and ended up back locked up, I made a right choice. I mean, going to rehab costed me a lot, but I mean, also I feel like in the long run, it's going to be better. Like good. I mean, you'll hear it like in the fellowship and stuff through NA and AA and all kinds of, smart recovery or whatever. Anybody who's recovering, you'll hear that good things happen to people who are trying to do good. And whether they do or not, I feel better. So I feel good. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah. I mean, at the end of the day, you can only worry about yourself. You have to. Because if you can't make yourself happy, you can't make anybody else happy.
Well, yeah, exactly. If I can't be the best me I can't be the best dad. I can't be the best grandpa. I can't be the best friend. I can't be the best son. I can't be the best brother. I can't be the best uncle, and again, the common denominator is me. So it is what it is.
I mean, you're ahead of the game. So as long as you stay ahead of the game, you're good to go.
Yeah.
Well,
I mean,
yeah. Who's gonna say something?
Were you gonna say something?
No. No, I was just saying that you was ahead of the game, man. I mean, as long as you stay ahead of the game, you're good to go. I mean, do not let it catch up with you. Keep doing what you're doing. You're recognizing what you need to do, and that's all you can do. That's all.
Yeah, just by doing this, man, if one little fucking knucklehead out there sees me and hears me talking, and I mean, like I said, if they want to try to change or they realize that, fuck, man, I already walked down that path, you don't have to, then this is all worth it.
Yeah.
I mean, it makes all of my stumbles and my falls and my slip ups worth it if I can change, even if it's just one life. But I mean, like right now, I'm big on prison reform because where I was garbage. And I mean, Oklahoma's DOC, garbage. Like it's not, there's no rehabilitation like it's supposed to be. There's no, the yard I was on, man, there was very little programs. Like I was in for drug offenses also. And I couldn't even get into the substance abuse program. I was court ordered to have anger management. And the only way to have anger management was get in the drug program. And they wouldn't let me in the drug program because obviously I didn't have a drug problem. I've got probably 7 or 8 drug arrests, and I've got shit. I couldn't tell you how many assaults.
Yeah.
You know, just simple shit. But like, I could not get into an anger management program, and I had to like appeal to the state board to get into it. So,
Crazy.
I mean, prison reform right now. Prison reform is a hot button topic, anyways.
Yeah.
But I mean, there needs to be more done.
Yeah. Definitely.
And I mean, even just like your program, and there's a couple others out there, even just those, I mean, really in the grand scheme of things, those little things, it raises awareness. And I mean, I don't know who's going to stumble onto this later, or who's going to realize that shit, man, this is a problem that affects everybody. It's not just the convicts. It's not just their families. It's not just their friends. This affects everybody across the board, because I had a buddy of mine that was locked up, man. And a weird story. He's driving along. He drank a few beers. He drove through a green light. A lady run a red light, hit him, and died. He blew a .09. So they had to do something. So he ended up getting a fucking a vehicular manslaughter charge because they had to blame somebody. And I mean, he was just, I mean, textbook, wrong place at the wrong time. And again, his family's got to deal with it. His kids, his grandparents, his parents, his siblings, you know, aunts, uncles, everybody, just because they had to put the blame on somebody.
That's crazy. Yeah, that's crazy.
And I mean, one of the best dudes you'll ever meet, man. And it makes me sick to know that he's got to sit for a mistake that somebody else made. And the lady who hit him, she was on, I mean, her toxicology report was ridiculous. And he blew a .09. 0.08 is a legal limit. I mean,
see that? Because this can happen to anybody. Anybody. This is so crazy, man. This so-called justice system, man, it's just ridiculous, man. And
it is what it is. I mean,
I don't see it changing anytime soon.
Well, I mean, it's not going to change if we don't do anything. Nobody is going to be a better advocate for you than you.
Yeah.
And nobody's going to be a better advocate for us. And I mean that in like the royal sense than us. Like, I've been through it. There's a guy named Chad Marks that, I mean, if you don't know his story, look it up. The dude
Blood
is
on the Wire, right?
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
That dude is amazing. And he got out. I mean, he spent a bunch of time in and got out, and he's still fighting the good fight, man. And I mean, in all reality, that dude should have come out and been bitter as hell, been mad, just out there saying fuck it all. But I mean, people with good hearts are out there. And I mean, just like people with tattoos, man, some of the nicest people that you ever meet will have tattoos or have a fucking felony record. And some of the most judgmental pieces of shit are the ones that are going to church every Sunday.
Yep.
But I mean, again, I'm not placing blame. I'm not pointing fingers or anything, but I mean, it is what it is.
Yeah. I mean, like everything else is one step at a time.
For sure.
Step at a time, for real. Yeah, man. I mean, we definitely understand and we definitely appreciate you coming on, and we definitely want you back again to come on. Like we have sometimes open forums and different discussions, and we would love to have you back on. But you know,
You
like
let me know, man. And like you said, you know, just like you said, you've had people say you appreciate it, but man, I really do. I appreciate you letting me tell my story. I appreciate your time. I know time is precious, man, and I do. I thank both of you guys. I appreciate y'all. And anytime, man, you know how to get a hold of me, bro. So hell, I'm around.
definitely. But man,
Yeah, so we try to end it on a super positive note. Again, we appreciate you. Is there any type of social media before I ask? Is there any type of social media you might want people to reach out to you? You know, anything you push in, you can go ahead and let the people know, the viewers know.
Man, you like you can hit me up on my Instagram. Y'all got the link and stuff. Y'all can throw it out there. But yeah, I mean, I just want people to know, man, that they're not alone. There are people out there struggling, and I'm one of those dudes, man. I'll give you the shirt off my back. If you ever need to talk, you ever need to get something off your chest, you ever need to bounce something off of me, man, I'm here. Yeah, it's a world where if you don't give back, man, you're wasting an opportunity. And I hate, my time is very precious, but like service to others is what drives me. Service to others is what gives me motivation to keep doing good. Just like I said, man, if I can change one mind, it's totally worth it. But yeah, man, like I said, y'all know how to get a hold of me, man. Y'all can blast it out there, whatever. But yeah, I'm around. So people need to know I'm not alone. You're not alone.
exactly.
There's always somebody to talk to. Don't go out there and make a bad decision because you were uneducated or uninformed.
Actually, that kind of was going to be the question. I always say, you know, if somebody was going to cross that street, you know, and you was there, if they was going to cross, that pretty much telling them what I was just going to ask him. So, yeah, definitely, you know what I mean? That's a
Ahead
fact.
of the game.
You must be reading my mind. Yeah, see, ahead of the game. That's right, ahead of the game.
That's the
Yeah,
title of your book right there. That's the title of your book.
it might be, man. If it is, I'll definitely give you a shout out, bro.
Ahead of the game. We're here first. But again, like I said, we definitely appreciate you coming on. We definitely would love to have you back. And if there's anything you need, you're not like people. If there's anything you need, reach out to us. You're not just
For sure.
a story to us. You're part of the family now. So,
And it's the same with y'all, man.
yes, sir. Yes, sir. So keep doing your thing. Keep telling your story. Stay safe. And if they only knew.
For sure.
Stay safe, man.
Thank you, guys.